Hey guys, Lord Commander Guts here for a little more in-depth discussion on Godzilla Monsterverse. This time we're going to be doing an actor pitch. I know that's going to sound weird. Now, there's going to be a lot of actors that I would love to include in all of the outlines that I have made, but for now we're just going to stick to the more recent ones and all the ones that I've done. Starting off is Hiroyuki Sanada. Now, I would love for this man to be in the Mothra movie as a prevalent role as the Japanese leader of the Monarch forces. I would also like him to be head of division in the Monarch role as well during the Rodan events. Now hopefully you've seen all my outlines as of thus far, as Mothra is the latest. We'd see him make his return for Kong 2. Now if you've seen the outline, you know that this is Gunpei's son, Gunpei Jr., and in Kong 2 I would love to introduce the next actor in our list, John C. Reilly. Obviously we'd be having him come back as Marlowe Jr., or Hank Marlowe's son. I'd have him start out as a cameo in Rodan, but then we'd see more of him in Kong 2. Along with Gunpei Jr., we'll be seeing these two Sons of Legacies come back for Kong 2 and, well, get the adventure we've always wanted. Number 3 is Nathan Fillion. I'd be having him as one of the henchmen of Jonah Allen, either his second in command or one of the near top lieutenants of his command. I would love to see him come back in either of the movies of Rodan or in Mothra as a small role and cameo, most likely in Rodan just because Mothra is so short and it doesn't have too much of Jonah Allen's presence in it, as it is very minimal. And I would love for him to be in a new standalone movie I'm actually thinking of doing called Titan Whispers, where he'd be heading up all the Titan Whispers under Jonah Allen. Please let me know if you like that kind of idea. And on to the next. Number 4, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now I do have in my outline for Rodan as the head of security, and I do have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in mind for that specific role. However, I wouldn't mind if he's in the Monsterverse in any capacity, regardless, even if he's not for that role. Now, in my outlines, he is who I have for my head of security of the Oceanic Monarch Department. Him working with Brooks and some others, but yes, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Rodan as one of the main characters. And starring as a small cameo role, I'd have Taika Waititi as one of the cameos in Rodan. Now specifically, I had in mind for him as the orphanage director in my outline for Rodan as one of the characters there, and I think it'd be pretty funny to have him there, even if it's a small role. But as for directors, I might do another video on that. Obviously, we'd have the old returning ones coming back for other films and some new directors as Taika Waititi, because I'd like to have him as the director for Rodan, and I know he likes to do cameos in his movies. Next up is Donnie Yen. I want him as the Chinese commander in Mothra, as the one who is side by side with Gunpei Jr. during the attacks in Mothra throughout the whole outline. He does die, spoiler alert, in my outlines, but that's okay. These are just fan fiction. I'd love for him to be the main character there as the Chinese commander. His commanding officer, which is the next actor pitch, is Jackie Chan, who I love and have always enjoyed as a kid, and I would love for him to be the superior officer of Donnie Yen in this movie as the Chinese general. Now, I think these two actors are going to be great for this type of movie. Mothra is very action-packed, and at the same time, it has a little bit of in-depth drama there. So I think these two would be an amazing role. I mean, obviously, I would love to cast a lot of people in this, but we're going to try and limit this as much as possible. And number 8, I'd have Brendan Fraser. Here I'd have him as a linguist, and I'd put him in Kong number 2. He'd be one of the linguists trying to decipher some of the hieroglyphs on the outside of the entrance to the Hollow Earth now that it's been blown up. If you've watched my Godzilla vs. Kong outline, this kind of goes further into that, and he's going into these caverns as well as a few of the other returning casts, bringing along with the next actor. Number 9, Keegan-Michael Key. He'd actually be one of the researchers on topic of Kong and all of the Inner Earth theories. Here we see him, along with Brendan Fraser, trying to researching the outside and trying to figure out what else has happened inside the Hollow Earth. And now we've reached Godzilla BC Outline. Now here are the actors I have for this movie. Starting off with Ewan McGregor. Here I'd have him as one of the gods, or actually just the superhuman in the outline. He's not really a god as you would see in the Thor, Odin kind of realm, or even Zeus. You'd see him as more of a demigod of sorts, and him, along with Carl Urban as his brother, I'd have them both kind of as almost like these Ultramen, as it would lead into the Ultraman story and tie in. Now these two we will see in Ultraman come back, so they will be different. They'll be superhuman, so to speak. They'll live unnatural lives. So obviously I'd have these guys in BC and then come back in Ultraman, and you'll see why. The next actor I have is the brother of the first two here, Ewan McGregor and Carl Urban III, as I'd almost have him as a Hades-type character, the underground guy, as Christopher Hivju. And we'd also see him return for Ultraman. Now, in the Godzilla outline for Godzilla BC, I have two kind of timelines going on at once in that story, and we could actually split that into 2 or 3 stories in itself. So the main group, the earliest in chronological order, would be these 3 brothers. They'd be the main kind of characters, and we'd have several surrounding and supporting characters around them. And then we'd have the main cast of the second timeline, which happens 6,000 years after these 3 brothers have their first Godzilla BC movie. And in this one, we'd have 3 families as the rulers of the people of the world at this time. The next actor we have is Forrest Whitaker. He is actually the elder, the king, the chieftain of his clan, along with his daughter, Zoe Saldana. Now, these 2 will be a prominent family in the story being retold, as I like to have Forrest Whitaker retelling the story of what happened 6,000 before, only to come back to these 2 and kind of adventure more into the world of Titan Whisperers, as Zoe Saldana, the daughter, actually has the gift. And here we introduce a rival empire that is at war with theirs, but they have to make peace in order to get through the next event of the Titans. Here I introduce Wes Studi as the chieftain of his people, along with his son, Adam Beach. Here, these 2 have to put aside their differences to try to put down Ghidorah for good in the Godzilla BC Outline. And along with these empires, we'd have the descendant of the 3 brothers, Kate Blanchett, here as the matriarch. Here she'd also play as one of the antagonists against these 2 empires. She is blessed with the gift of not only being a Titan Whisperer, but of being able to transform. Now keep in mind, these are all just pitches, and these are all actors I really love and enjoy. Will they all be in it? Probably not. This is just actor pitches, and honestly, I think I've overwritten the Monsterverse to the point where I know it'll never be as epic as this, because there's just no way this is going to happen as much as I love it. Let me know, did you like all the actors and actresses that I picked? Who would you have picked for the Monsterverse? Should I do another one of these? And next one will be which directors I'd love to direct which outline. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed these videos. This is Lord Commander Guts, aka Mike G, signing off.